think we'll ever.
Hey, shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praises, all glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Also, I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that do rule and teach well. And as always, peace, love, and many blessings unto the elect. All right, this is your brother Itazawam coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai with another lesson. Lord willing, I do hope and pray that it's edifying. So I have this video here that I'm going to play in just a second, but it's from a former U.S. Army colonel. And, of course, they have intel on certain events and things that are to take place in the future. And his assessment was that we may very well not see a 2024 election. And the possibility of that is very high. OK, if you look at the projection of America and the direction that it's going, you can see a great fall is coming, which will cripple, the political aspects of America that we know of. And one of those political aspects is voting. OK, which is nothing but a disguise, because like I think it was FDR said, which is one of his most profound quotes. Presidents are not elected, they're selected. OK, so in all actuality, if the rulers that be don't see it fit for a 2024 election, it won't happen. OK, and this is the fall of Babylon the Great, also known as America, the seventh head. Now, let me play this video here, and then we'll get into the scripture.
I don't think we'll ever get to the 2024 election. I think things are going to implode in Washington before then. I think our economic financial condition is fragile. It's going to come home to roost in ugly ways. I will tell you, I don't know exactly how it will happen. I think we're going to end up in a situation where we find out the banks are closed for 2 or 3 weeks and nobody can get into them.
You think so?
I think we're going to run into something like that, yeah. I also think that the levels of violence and criminality in our cities is so high that it's going to spill over into other places in society. People that normally think they can live remote from the problem are now beginning to be touched by the problem. Then I look at this thing in Ukraine. I think Ukraine is going to lose catastrophically. It's going to be a complete collapse. And that, too, is going to have an effect here at home because people are going to say, well, wait a minute. Everybody told us Ukraine was winning. Everybody told us X, Y, and Z. I mean, it's sort of the Russian hoax on steroids. All of those things are going to come together or converge in some way that's going to prevent us from reaching, the status quo. Oh, another election. Oh, another set of campaigns and so forth.
Yeah, so you just heard it from this individual. Now, like I said, at the end of the day, everything is subject to the will of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? So that way the Lord withdraws man from his own purpose, because it's all the will of the Heavenly Father. But the possibility still looms. OK, and Lord willing, it does happen, because, if we end up in a situation where events predict us to not have a presidential election, then that means that we're approaching the end. OK, because this has always been an American tradition every 4 years is to elect a president. So if we get to a point in society where a president is not elected, then that means that things are taking a change for the worse. And eventually this current world must pass away. All right, this current system, this democratic way of life is going to be taken out the way. All right, because Esau is planning what they call a new world order. So this current system is going to pass away. All right, now let's get into this. This is the book of John, 1 John chapter 2 and verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. OK, now what world is this talking about? Because when we read the scriptures, we know that the scriptures reference a multitude of different worlds. OK, which a world, it can represent many things. It can represent the whole world in its entirety. It can represent a a uh a sect of people, okay, that's in a harmonious arrangement, or it can mean a age or a time period. All right, so let's see what world the scriptures is telling us not to love. Okay. All right, the cosmos. Okay. And it says an apt and harmonious arrangement or constitution, order, or government. Okay. So the Lord is telling you, don't love this current government. See, a lot of people are encapsulated in the rudiments and culture of this present world. Okay. But the Lord said not to love it, because when this thing is taken away, those that love this world, they're gonna submit. Okay, verse 16, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. Okay, so the Lord has already given us the game. Hey, don't love that world, man. First of all, this is a disgusting place. All right, it's full of pride. It's full of covetousness, murder, violence, adultery, idolatry. Okay, poor diet, witchcraft, and so many more things that the Lord detests. So we can't get too pulled into this world. See, our spirit must be after the cosmos of Yahweh Bashim Awashai. Okay. Verse 17, and the world passeth away. That's the key point that I wanted to hit. Okay. Because this world, this current cosmos of America is going to pass away. Like I said, this whole democratic consumerism that everybody's used to, being able to order online, being able to go to these stores and shop, okay, being able to celebrate Christmas and Thanksgiving and New Year's Eve and all these other holidays, you know, being able to go to the club every weekend or go to your favorite movie theater, eat your favorite foods, is going to pass away. All right. We're going to come a point in time where you're going to have food checkpoints. All right. You're going to have to have access in order to go from one city to another, one county to another, one state to another. And they showed you that they can do that when the C-19 kicked off. And they had set up those barricades up there in Rhode Island. Okay, I believe it was on the border of Rhode Island and Connecticut, if I'm not mistaken. So a harsh reality that we face, you know, or that these people face, is the fall of this kingdom. So if what this former colonel is saying comes true, then we know that we are a step closer to the end and the return of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Okay, it says, and the world passeth away. So like in verse 17, and the world passeth away and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever. Okay, because our works, if we continue in our works and we continue to perform the will of Yahweh Bashim Shai, our works will follow us. Okay, into the kingdom of heaven, into the new world. Okay, the new kingdom of Yahweh Bashim Shai. But everybody else, all this shit gonna pass away. In the kingdom, you're not gonna remember the great American icons. There's not gonna be a museum that documented, you know, the great famous American actors and poets and athletes, man. The Lord is gonna start afresh with the 144,000. They're gonna be the men of renown, the Nephilim. Okay, the sons of God. So this world that you see, man, this wasn't intended to be a permanent kingdom. This place was intended to fall. Okay, let's get another scripture. Isaiah 25 and I'm gonna read verse 7. And he will destroy in this mountain. Now the word mountain represents what? A government. Okay. And the Lord uses that mountain as an analogy for a government, because it towers over the rest of the land. It's a high point. Even when you look at Washington, D.C., you know, you see where the laws come from. They call it what? Capitol Hill. Okay. Now, a hill is nothing but just a smaller mountain. Okay? So it's a representation of sitting higher than the rest of the people. Okay? And this government has gotten up high over the rest of these people, and they rule over the world with deception. So the Lord said he's going to destroy in this mountain or this government the face of the covering cast over all people and the veil that is spread over all nations. Okay? Because everybody is their mind is pretty much warped under this illusion of America. Okay? They think as though this is the glory of all kingdoms, which really it is right now. But it's lost that reputation. It's lost that that imagination of being one of the greatest kingdoms in the world. See, everybody is seeing America for what it is. Okay? So we know that right now America sits as marbles on a wet napkin, ready to fall through. Okay? It's very fragile. Like the former colonel mentioned, he said the financial system of America is at a very fragile point right now. And when something is fragile, it means it can be easily broken or it can easily fall. Okay? And that's America. We at the point in this society where if anything happens, it could just spiral out of control. Okay? So we know that the fall of this place is coming. As a matter of fact, let's get it in the book of Revelation, the 18th chapter, because all the prophecies of the scriptures point to two things: the fall of America and the return of Yahweh Shai. So we've reached the end of a kingdom. Okay? Revelation chapter 18, starting at the top. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, is fallen. Oh, look at that. Okay, it says Babylon the Great is fallen, is fallen. Now, Babylon the Great right here is what? This is talking about America. And America is fallen. Okay? You had a trio of movies that came out. White House Down, London Has Fallen, Olympus Has Fallen, and all of those were like omens of the fate of the current governments of the world. Okay? It says Babylon the Great is fallen, has become the habitation of devils and the hold of every foul spirit and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Meaning when the missiles hit this place and it's left as a desolate land, a desert, the only thing that's going to dwell over here is going to be the habitation of those foul spirits. Okay? Those evil spirits that were here, those those unclean birds, that dwell in the desert, those desert animals and, snakes. That's what's going to be left over here. Mankind will never step foot on American soil after those missiles hit. So we're projecting, or we're the trajectory of society is moving in that direction. The end. Okay? And the scriptures identify that, okay, constantly when you read the scriptures. So this world, prepare for this world to pass away. Okay? The world changed since the pandemic hit. Since 2020 up until 2023, the end of 2023, the world has totally changed. Tap, okay, has been a thing that's increased. Contactless payment, that wasn't really popping off like that before COVID-19. They may have had the technology, but it was more so the inserting the chip. You would have to insert your card into the EMV machine, and it would read the chip. Then after COVID, you started to see more of these restaurants and stores set up the tap. Okay, you had contactless payment. Okay. Where you had social distancing, which was nothing less than a social experiment. So it shows you how fast the world can change due to an event. So imagine the next great event that cripples America. It could very well lead to us not going into an election. But of course, we'd have to see. Okay? But we know that the end is approaching. Matter of fact, let's get Ezekiel. Ezekiel chapter 7. I'm going to start at the top. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Also, thou son of man, thus saith the Lord power unto the land of Israel, the end is come upon the four corners of the land. Now is the end come upon thee, and I will send mine anger upon thee, and will judge thee according to thy ways, and recompense upon all thine abominations. Okay? It says, And mine eye shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thine abominations shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. So this is talking about the end of the people of Israel. Okay? And the Lord brought judgment upon them. Okay? Thus saith the Lord power, and evil, and only evil, behold, is come. Now this can be applied to America also. Okay? Because evil days is looming in your future. Very evil days, very painful days, and turbulent days are ahead of you. An end is come. The end is come. It watcheth for thee. Behold, it is come. Okay? So that end is approaching. All right? Like when you see that movie, Leave the World Behind, and that the White Lion, that ship, well, it was approaching fast. And that, I perceive it to be, the circle of judgment, because the first ship that landed in America for Jacob, for the curses for Jacob was called the White Lion. And in that movie, you seen the oil rig or oil tank ship approaching the shores of America fast, and it was called the White Lion. So that means that the judgment, your payment is coming back full circle, and it's coming fast. Okay, so we'll see if another presidential election, will take place or not. But I perceive in the spirit that 2024 is going to be an extremely prophetic year. So Lord willing, that was an edifying lesson. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Awashai Bashim Kakodash. Double honors once more to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors and respect to the elect. To the next lesson, we say Shalom.